Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Kentucky crews struggle to repair the roads ahead of the rain and snow. And in the fight against COVID-19, millions of Americans await their deliveries full of free COVID tests.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good Thursday morning to you. I'm Dakota Makris, and it's just before 5 o'clock here, and it's snowing. Let's take it over to forecaster Brandon Robinson this morning. Brandon, on my way in around 4 o'clock, I did see a state road crew snowplow out and about. So at least they're starting to get those roads taken care of, I guess, the best that they can. Right. So that's a good sign, I guess.
But the problem was they weren't able to pre-treat anything yesterday because it was pouring the rain. So they're getting a late start. I know they're out there working hard, but it may not make a difference in the long run because they're just now getting that salt and brine down. But again, the snow is starting to move out. It's not completely out just yet, but we're seeing some lighter bands starting to form there. So some places not seeing it as bad this morning. Some folks just switched over a couple of minutes ago, a couple of hours ago there. So we're going to continue to watch that as we head deeper. And some spots may not even be changed over yet. Look down toward Claiborne and Campbell counties in Tennessee and Bell County in Kentucky. So again, it's just whatever you are seeing right now will probably be what you see today. So if you didn't get it on the ground, we talked about that being a possibility yesterday, but I am more concerned about the amount of water that has fallen over the last couple of days. I-64 at Moorhead, they absolutely got the snow there. It's very slippery over there overnight, and not a whole lot of traffic this morning. People heeding the notice to stay home. I-75 at Mount Vernon looking at pretty frosty there this morning, but here is something you have to remember. Temperatures are still dropping. They will drop all the way to about 9 or 10 o'clock this morning. So 7 o'clock will not be the coldest part of the day today. 25 in Moorhead, but still 35 in Middlesboro, 36 in Jacksboro. That's transition area right there down toward the border. So again, don't be disappointed if you didn't wake up with snow, but the main concern is ice. We're going to see all of this freeze as we head deeper into the daytime hours, and we're not going to rebound a whole lot. Download that WYMT weather app to keep you updated. Snow showers will continue for a little while longer, and then as those wrap up to flurries, those temperatures continue to drop, and we'll be lucky to get back into the upper 20s today, and we may not make it in a lot of locations. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you so much. Well, temperatures have dropped overnight, just like Brandon said, giving us some fresh snow after most of the remnants of the last round of wintry weather melted away. We go live now to our buddy Forbes in Pikeville, who is taking a look at conditions over there. Betty.
Yeah, Dakota, I'm here in downtown Pikeville, outside of our Big Sandy Bureau, where the situation hasn't really changed much since last night. But the wet has not yet turned into white. It is a pretty wet, chilly scene down here. But driving on US 460 and 23 this morning, that rain was turning into a bit of an icy mixture. The snow has been coming down for about an hour now, so many people may wake up to a normal looking condition, but remember that just because you can't see that danger doesn't mean it isn't there. And road crews are out prepared for whatever comes as that snow moves through the mountains. And road crews have stressed the importance of staying home if you can do so, but if you do have to be out on the roads, give yourself that extra time and give them that extra room so they can make sure that everyone can get where they're going. In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, buddy, thank you so much. Road crews were on the ground yesterday getting ready for that switch from rain to snow, and that is creating another challenge. The Clark County Road Department says this winter storm is making it especially hard for them to do any pre-treating of the roads. Well, the issue, rain before the transition to snow and Arctic temperatures. That does not allow for this salt to help pre-treat roads. Along with salt supply being used faster this season, their workers are also getting fatigued by working long hours week after week. Well, we saw that transition from rain to snow overnight here in Hazard, and for a look at road conditions right now in Perry County, we check in live with meteorologist Cameron Aaron. Cameron, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dakota. You are right. The flakes are still falling here in Hazard. Well, it's not as heavy as it was about an hour ago, but we still have a pretty nice dusting here on the grassy areas behind me. And speaking of the roads and road conditions, on the drive over here, we did have some slushy areas, mainly on the shoulder of the road. The main road looks pretty good right now, but it is really wet. And like Brandon just mentioned, that's something that we are watching very closely, because as you step out the door right now, this is as warm as it's getting today. It's going to be be down into the 20s, maybe even teens in spots as we go through the afternoon hours. So black ice and slick spots are definitely something that's going to be possible on your morning commute and into the afternoon as well. So really the big message this morning is to stay home if you can. If you do have to be out, though, be sure to use plenty of caution and drive slowly. But for now, Dakota, back to you in the studio, the warm and dry studio, Dakota.
All right, Cameron, thank you so much. Well, new this morning, the Kentucky Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Protection Cabinet has issued a full water advisory until further notice for the main building of ARH here in Hazard. Now, the advisory was issued due to a potential bacterial contamination due to a main line water break. An estimated 450 customers will be affected. Well, the COVID-19 positivity rate continues to climb as daily COVID case counts remain well above 10,000. The state reported 12,583 new cases yesterday. That brings our cases to more than 1 million. There were 25 new deaths as well, putting the Commonwealth's death toll at 12,639. The positivity rate is now at a record 30.77%. Millions of Americans are now waiting on their package of free COVID test kits. Each household can order up to 4 tests on the website covidtest.gov. Now, this comes as pharmacies, testing sites, and medical centers have been overwhelmed by the demand for testing.
Read the instructions, okay? It's a little bit more complicated when you're doing it at home. You've been exposed. If you have symptoms, if you're looking at being around somebody that might be at risk.
Well, Dr. Jeff Fox adds that if someone tests negative, they should consider their circumstances. He says, think about if you were exposed when you might have been exposed and consider testing again in 3 to 5 days. Thank you so much for getting your very cold Thursday morning started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up next, the Prime Minister of the UK might be in some trouble after allegedly attending parties while England was in lockdown.
While not everyone has snow on the ground this morning, temps are still falling and roads will get icy in many locations. I'll have your frigid forecast in about 3 minutes.